Hey everyone, and welcome to the Forge. Today we're going to be watching episode 2 of the destruction test video. It's a series of videos I'm doing to test my processes. Today we're going to watch 3 knives go through 3 different stress tests and then a final test at the end. And you're going to want to stick around to the end because the results they're surprising. The knives I'm going to test are, I've got a D2 knife, a Damascus knife, and then a knife that I forged. It is 5160. So stay tuned. And this video is done without any editing so that you can see the process from start to finish. And you'll see that I'm not an actor as I go through the process, but you will see the truth in the testing. So it's a good video. Before we get started, I do want to say thank you for being on this journey with me. If you're new to the channel, I'm Mike. I'm a professional bladesmith. If you want to know more about my background, you can watch our introductory video, and I talk a little bit more about that. I do have 40 years in working with different types of metals and different types of scenarios in aerospace, applied metallurgy, and heat treat, a whole spectrum. So, but as a YouTuber, I'm new. Only 2 months in, as you can see. So, the reason I said that is because I want to let you know as a watcher that your feedback is absolutely critical. It's crucial to helping us build this channel and keep it informative and entertaining. So we want to know what you think, what you like, and of course, if you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button because it helps the algorithm. And but what's most important is letting me know what you think of the content, whether you like it, and what you want to see more of. Okay, so let's get on to the video. Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. I want to start by saying that this video that I'm doing is for entertainment purposes only. I have been wanting to shoot this video for a while. Here's the knife that I forged that I'm going to be testing today. Forged it specifically for this test. I need to check the grain structure of the steel instead of just boringly putting it in the vise and breaking a piece off to test it. I thought, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I might as well have some fun. So what we're going to do today, nothing fancy. I'm going to see how the edge holds up doing typical, well, not typical stuff, but like batoning through wood. We're going to chop into some deer antler. Oh, almost forgot. Be right back. And then we got this 1/2-inch piece of rebar here that we're also going to chop into and see how the edges hold up. I really just want to see how we'll see how these hold up too. These knives right here, I bought these some years back online. I blocked out the maker's name. This one is D2 stamped on there. This one's some kind of Damascus. Not going to give like a lot of background on the knives. They're available online, so I got them just to see what they were. Anyways, we're going to see how this D2 knife and this Damascus knife hold up against this 5160 blade that I forged. I forged it pretty thin. I forged it from the other half of this leaf spring. It's a thinner spring. It's an old one. So let's get to it. I'm not an actor, so I'm just going to wing this, but I do want to say that I'm going to let the camera run for this whole process from start to finish. I'm not going to turn it off so that there's no cuts, there's no edits. Whatever happens in the testing, we'll all see it together and we'll all find out together. I'm going to, I've got my safety here, and I've got my face shield here for when we're doing the chopping and stuff like that, and also when we get to the brake test. Safety first. So let's get started. I'm going to start by, I'll take each knife, and I don't have a lot of wood around here. I've got some of this old walnut that's, you know, it's got some knots in it, and we'll see how it does with the walnut. We'll take a couple of, we'll try each knife through there and see how they hold up. Forgot another thing. Be right back. So we can test the edges and see how they do. So I guess we should start by doing that. See how sharp each knife is. I wrapped this in paracord so I can hold on to it, and I didn't do any fancy grinds or anything. This one's pretty sharp. This one, see how this does. Make sure that we're it's not. It's sharp, but not super sharp. See, sometimes. Sharp enough. This one, and I bought these because they look cool. This is big and heavy. I don't know what I was thinking back then. I just bought a bunch of knives. I used to like collecting and stuff like that. This one's really sharp. Sharp enough for the test anyway. And then we'll come back to the newspaper again after we do each iteration of testing. Okay, let's start with mine. See how it does. Oh, get my gloves on. And if the sound is bad, then we'll just overlay some voice on this. My tech person is an expert. She can fix anything. So I'll do these. But anyways, you get the picture. I was chopping out some of these little stuff here. That stuff's pretty hard. It's not really enough. How it cuts. Still cuts. Alright, let's try this one. Oh, let's probably do this every time. That's got a convex grind on it. Like I said, I just got this ready for this test. It's not perfect. It's serviceable. We'll do this nice Damascus knife next. It might be kind of hard to tell because it didn't really cut the newspaper that great to begin with, but we'll see. Still cuts. Still sharp. I'll let you see the edge on this one. Pardon my mess. There we go. Just needed to be tightened up. How it cuts. It won't be cheap, and I'll get an extra piece of newspaper. But anyways, it's, like I said, just batoning wood. That's level 1. There's the edge on that. None of this walnut here will go to waste. I'll handle it for the next whole day if we get it full. It's supposed to snow a few times for the day. Weather's sun goes down, before it gets too dark to film anything. So next is these deer tines. They're not sun bleached. They're pretty in pretty good shape, and not a lot of pith in them. They're pretty solid. So what I'm going to do is we'll do it forged in fire style, and we'll take 10 chops with each knife, and then check them to see how they do. And I can't really go too crazy because these are small and they'll probably fly off somewhere. But I won't baby it. Anyways, here we go. Start with mine, of course. Got some chipping in the edge here, pretty significant. Let's see if you can focus on that. This does come down to a zero edge just about, but got this chipping along here. All right, let's see how the other knives do. Not out loud. Well, this guy rolled up pretty good. It didn't chip, but I can't see the other side of the camera, so hopefully this is focusing in. But yeah, so that rolled up pretty good. All right, let's try the D2 knife. Temperature's dropping too, it's getting cold. Here's the difference in the cuts too. This is the first one I did with my knife, and this is what the Damascus did. So I'm wondering which one I should use. I'm gonna save mine. Just chop into this one. Here we go. This didn't roll or anything. Grand finale. See what happens to the knives with the rebar. Start with mine. It has the chips in this area here. I don't need a marker or anything. I can see where it is. So I'm gonna use a different area of the knife and see what happens. I'm only gonna do 5 on the rebar because it's rebar. Again, it's got kind of a combination of chipping and rolling going on here. Let's do it because we said we were going to do it. 5 chops. I'll use this back part of the knife. It just rolled that right over it. Won't show camera though. You can see where my knife bit into the rebar. Here's the Damascus where it rubbed off on there. Those shiny spots there. Hopefully the camera can pick it up. And you can see the cuts where mine bit in. So I'm interested to see what this B2 knife does to the rebar. Here we go. Move it over here. Now we got some edge rolling, and I think it's mostly rolled. Doesn't look like it's chipped, it's just kind of dented. Kind of smashed in, you can see. But it did bite into the rebar here. And you can see the thickness of the edge here. How thin my edge was, but it did bite in. Rebar test. That's tough on a knife. Last but not least, not to drag this out, and I don't think we need to do a newspaper cutting test because all these knives are going to just grab that paper. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the vise up, and I'm going to do a bend test like I did the first time with the first knife, and we'll see how these bend or flex, and hopefully I can just break a piece of mine off, but we'll see what happens. I might have to get an angle grinder and score it, but we'll see. It might break. This time I'm going to be setting up this vise different. Thank you, Mr. Stacy Apefelt from Late Forms. He recommended that I turn the vise this way to give me better leverage and better safety. Safety first is always your first consideration whenever you're doing anything like this. Don't try this at home, kids. Get this anchored in. Solid. Sorry, but said I'm just me. I'm not an actor, but it is cold out here. My nose just will not stop running. So I'm gonna go first. I want to see what happens. Or should I do it in reverse? Yeah, let's do it in reverse. We'll go D2 first, Damascus second, and I'll go last. We'll have some fun. Because if I just break mine, then what's the point of continuing, you know? So, anyways. That's what we're out here for, is to break this. Alright, so D2. Now the thickest part of the spine is way back here. But I'm gonna... It's still got a pretty good area to clamp onto right here, so I'm not going to try to go all the way back to the spine because that makes helps keep the vise in the stop. If it breaks, I've got an area to fall back on here. See what happens. Well, like I thought, too thick. Mine's too thick. It's probably about 3/16 of an inch. That's a lot of steel. So I'll get a thinner part. Bit of a bend. I don't know if you can see that. I'm curved over just a little bit. I'm going to choke up on it about right here. It's still got a good area of thickness right there. Enough for the jaws to clamp onto. And we will be fair and treat every knife the same in this test. All about rules of the scientific process. All right. Well, it's bending. You can see the bend right here. I'm not sure what that means. I'll try one more time where it's a little thinner. I just wanted to see see if I can snap a piece off for comparison. This is a manufactured knife. I don't know if it's mass produced or not, but I believe that it is, because there was more than one knife of this design and shape. That's a little easier. Yeah. That was pretty tough. It doesn't want to break. Maybe I'm just not strong enough, doesn't have enough leverage, but there's a pretty good bend in it right there. Done. All right, let's see what this Damascus knife does. Thickest part of the spine is back here. So that's as far down as it goes in the vise. So let's start here. Down. That's pretty good. I can probably see it from there. But I'll choke up on it a little more. See what we get. Oh. Didn't take very much force at all. The other thing I forgot, but I'm not going to run in the house and get them right now, is my big, thick glasses. The reason I'm not going to get them is because I don't want to try to do another analysis out here and be wrong, but... Huh. Yeah, I can't really see that too well, but it doesn't look too... Well, it does look a little coarse and grainy. Anyways. Alright, for the grand finale, we'll do mine. Mine's significantly thinner. I think it's just right about 1/8 of an inch thick, and then of course it tapers down to 0. It's got a little bit of a convex grind, but we'll see what happens. Just in case. I sure hope the camera caught that. Bent over pretty good. I'll give it one more shot. Alright. See if it's bent. Straight as narrow. So that's a good sign. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The chipping and the... Not too happy with that, but I don't know. Anyways, I need to get in here and see what's in there. I'm going to try it up here at the tip. See what it does. there's the piece. Broke right at the tip. There's tapered down pretty thin. And then I'll review the footage later, but you can see how far it bent before it broke. And then we'll get this analyzed and see what that looks like, and that'll tell me the effectiveness of my process for normalization and heat treating. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. And I guess we will see you next time.